we'd crawl under there and get warmed up, and of course, and, you know, it was okay. Not like when you're old, you don't feel every draft. But I remember getting up in the morning, and we had to put our clothing under the blankets with us to warm it up. We'd get dressed up under the blanket, and then we'd go and we'd make holes as children to look outside and see what it was like. Make holes in the frost on the window. But now here we were in the fall of the year, rainy weather, with no home and 4 children. But I went to a relative who lived on a farm next to us, a distant relative, and they had a spare room, so I spent some time there at nights. Went home and helped in the daytime. But then he had to wait, of course, on the insurance to come and all that. But in the meantime, we discovered that the baby that had been in the crib was paralyzed on one side. She would smile just on one side of her face, and the other side was just, did nothing. So my dad took her to the doctor, and from what I remember, the doctor told Dad there was nothing he could do and that she would not live likely because one side of her would grow and the other wouldn't. So Dad brought her home with that news, and everybody felt pretty bad on top of all the shock and everything. But I thought surely, you know, that he would have some help to fix up the house. He was in his 60s. And so he had to wait on the insurance, and that took quite a while. And then he had to set to work and get that roof back together and do all the plastering again in the upstairs and painting and everything to get the bedrooms ready for the girls and the younger family. And in that time, I was thinking of getting my little carcass out of there. One lightning bolt, half of it was enough for me. But anyway, he did that at his age. He fixed the house up completely. And after that was done, could I help him? Well, I did the best I could, you know, and I kept the kids from going up there to bother him and all that. But he got that roof together, and I don't know how he managed it, but of course, as I said, he had built the house, and he knew all about it, so the house was like, you know, built from the wood and the trees right from the farm. Time passed pretty quick, and it got colder, of course, and but he got it all done before winter. And then that was the winter that I left. But I didn't leave until a second miracle happened. Now, it could have been a coincidence, it could have been just that the damage left her, or she had just been shocked into being paralyzed, I don't know. But an aunt of ours, who was a lady married to my dad's brother, one of my dad's brothers, knew an elderly lady that grew up near, she had grown up near, in a small town along the coast, north of where we lived. And that old lady, she was, well, in her 90s, as far as I understand, she heard about the baby, and she told my aunt to tell us to bathe the baby twice a day in warm milk right from the animals, right from the cows. Well, when that got to us, we thought it over, and it was kind of a funny thing, you know. I mean, there was down east, and sometimes when I was growing up, there was a lot of things going on that was just pure superstition or pure coincidence or whatever, and people took it very seriously. Well, my stepmother didn't want to try that. She was discouraged and crying, and you know, about the baby and everything, and the baby was sort of, you know, not like she used to be, full of smiles and kicking and all that. No, that was gone. She was a different child, and it was sad. But I said to my dad, you know, the doctor can't do anything, and he told you it was a head. Why don't we try what the elderly lady said? There's no harm in trying it. It wouldn't hurt her any more than she's hurting now. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. At least we would know, and we would have tried. Well, he didn't know what to do, and I said, look, let's give up the milk that we drink, and let's do it. So everybody agreed. They wouldn't drink any milk until their sister was better. And so we started that, night and morning. We'd milk the cows and bring it in as frothy, warm milk from the barn, and put it in a big container and bathe the baby in it. We did that for about 2 weeks. And as we did it, we gradually could see the baby moving her leg more, her arm more, and the smile was sort of spreading back across the other side of her face. And by the end of the 2 weeks, she was fine. And I think that's another miracle too. If it's coincidence, well, that's okay too, but it's a wonderful coincidence of a miracle. She grew up, and she's now a grandmother.